Welcome to the speed round of the Sutton Special Town Meeting. I ask that everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. As we always do for all of the town meetings, I just want to quickly go through the rules and regulations. So non-residents or non-voting members of the audience should be seated in the first few rows over here to my right. Some of these individuals, however, will be granted to speak on an article, given their role within the town or interested parties or articles. They will need to be recognized, however, by the town moderator. I ask that anyone addressing an article for discussion to please to go to the microphone in the back, right behind Ms. Cheryl. And make sure, again, when you speak into it, that you're about 2 to 3 inches away from the microphone so everybody can hear you. For the record, the town of Sutton has adopted Chapter 39, Section 15 of the general laws, requiring a 2/3 vote by statute. The vote need not be counted unless the reported results of the vote are immediately questioned by 7 or more voters in attendance at this meeting. Since all 4 questions are majority, I don't think we'll have an issue. I will dispense with the reading of the warrant. The town clerk will note that the return of the warrant was properly posted and properly returned. Thank you, Laura. With that, we move on to Article 1.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 40, Section 59, and Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 23A, Sections 3E and 3F, to approve a tax increment financing agreement between the town and Prime Metals Technologies, USA, LLC, and Sutton Outlook Ventures, LLC, or its successor in interest, for a portion of the property located on 85 Gilmore Drive, the TIF agreement, which TIF agreement provides for real estate tax exemptions at the exemption rate schedule set forth therein, and approve an Economic Development Incentive Program, an EDIP, local incentive only application submission to Massachusetts Economic Assistance Coordinating Council, the EACC, and authorize the Board of Selectmen to execute the TIF agreement and approve submission to the EACC of the TIF agreement and EDIP, local incentive only application, all relating to the project as described in the TIF agreement, and any necessary documents relating thereto, and to take such other actions as are necessary or appropriate to obtain approval of the TIF agreement and EDIP, local incentive only application, and related submissions, and to take such other actions as necessary or appropriate to implement those documents.
Hearing a second, Finance and Warrant Advisory Committee, your recommendation?
Finance and Warrant Advisory Committee voted 7-0 to recommend passage of this article. The article authorizes the Board of Selectmen to execute a tax increment financing agreement, a TIF, between the town and Prime Metals Technology USA LLC and Sutton Outlook Ventures LLC for property located at 85 Gilmore Drive. The committee feels that a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility with approximately 275 employees will have a very positive economic impact on our local community, and the agreement will provide increased tax revenue for the town.
Okay, hearing a motion and a second is now open for discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor of Article 1 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. Article 1 passes by unanimous vote. Article 2.
Moderator, I move that the town vote pursuant to the provisions of General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 20, to appropriate $368,000 generated from the sale of bonds issued for the police station project for the purpose of funding the design, construction, original equipment, and furnishing of the new police station to be located near the intersection of Central Turnpike and Putnam Hill Road, including all incidental and related costs.
Second.
Thank you. Finance and Warrant Advisory Committee, your recommendation?
Finance and Warrant Advisory Committee voted 7-0 to recommend passage of this article. The article will allow for the appropriation of $368,000 of a bond premium received by the town to fund the police station project. The committee agrees that using these funds for the police station is an appropriate use of the bond premium.
Okay, now open for discussion. Thank you. If you could please state your name and your
Hi.
address.
Heather Waterman, 15 Griggs Road, Sutton. This is more of a question, just a clarification from last year's Springtown meeting, where Article 15 just said that we were appropriating and transferring the available funds to borrow a sum of money to pay the cost of designing, constructing, and originally equipping and furnishing the new police station. But it seems like we're asking again? Is there
Jim, can you clarify
Sure.
that? Thank you.
This is, we're asking to use the bond premium. When we sold the bonds for $8.7 million, we received a premium on that sale. The premium was $368,000. Now, we can use that amount for this project. So the bond is still for $8.7 million. That hasn't gone up. So it's not additional money, to answer your question directly.
that was my question, is this an additional ask, or is this a clarification of last year's article, which did not have any money attached to it?
Well,
This year's does.
You know, what it does is, you know, there is another option, which we could lower the borrowing to 8.35, give or take, and give the premium back to the residents now. We're choosing to appropriate it for a maintenance bay, which is part of the original design. And ultimately, the residents still get that money back over an $18,000 payment every year for the next 20 years through the tax recap process.
Okay, because my question is this going to, since it was part of the reason why we did, as a town, thought that not having a library was part of what we should do, is this going to increase our debt? Get the right framework here. So is this going to increase our debt exclusion?
No effect on that whatsoever.
So this
So
is,
it's still 8.7, that's the amount we're borrowing. This premium is above and beyond, so it's available for appropriation. However, we're going to pay back the residents per se through the tax recap process, roughly $18,000 a year for 20 years.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? Okay, I'll open it up for a vote. All those in favor of Article 2 signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, we have one dissenting vote. So passes by majority. Article 3.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to transfer from free cash the sum of $600,000 for the purpose of purchasing and installing public safety communication equipment, including but not limited to fiber and simulcast systems and all incidental or related costs.
Thank you. Finance and Warrant Advisory Committee, your recommendation?
The Finance and Warrant Advisory Committee voted 7-0 to recommend passage of this article. The article provides for the purchase and installation of public safety communication equipment, including fiber and simulcast systems. The committee believes that public safety is a priority, and this is a necessity of the police, fire, ambulance, and highway departments to better serve and protect the community.
Okay, open for discussion.
Brian Hurst, 7 Sunrise Drive. The $600,000, was that just a late amount coming in? Because it's not on the warrant here, it's printed. And secondly, is it more likely than not we will end up having to borrow to cover this, or we expect that most of it will be covered from available funds? So,
Do you understand that? Can you repeat the first part of that question? Didn't quite get it.
I don't see any dollar amount in the handout warrant that I received. As it was read and the motion made, it mentioned $600,000.
Right, so the motion is actually what's presented to the people for vote tonight.
Okay, so I understand it's $600,000.
600,000, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and the other question is, the article indicates it'll come from available funds or borrowing. Do we have a guess as to which or what, or
No, this appropriation is going to come from free cash.
will come from free cash?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor of Article 3, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, passes by majority vote. Article 4.
My name is Carl Lacopoli. I'm on the sewer board, or the sewer commissioners, and I move that the town vote to transfer from the sewer department retained earnings the sum of $52,000 for the purpose of purchasing actuators and motors for the wastewater treatment facility at 21 Huff Road, including any incidental or related cost. That means that it's not going to go over $52,000.
Thank you. Finance and Warrant Advisory Committee, your recommendation?
Finance and Warrant Advisory Committee voted 7-0 to recommend passage of this article. The article will authorize the sewer department to purchase actuators and motors for the wastewater treatment facility. The sewer department has indicated that the motors are in need of repair and, due to their age, replacement parts are not available. The purchase will be funded from the sewer department retained earnings.
Thank you. It's now open for discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor of Article 4, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Passes by unanimous vote. I now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Okay, declare the special town meeting to be closed. Thank you. Who won?